Made me understand how my life was and is, but it didn't make me change my life, because it's pretty much always been the same as it was. And when you're diagnosed late in life, I mean, the habits and the rituals and the repetitive behaviours, you're just not going to lose that by then anyway.
If you were given an option to cure your autism, as they would say, would you do it or not?
No. I lived 53 years of my life with this and didn't really know why I was always feeling different. Always have to push myself to be involved in things, and if that was taken away, I don't know who that person would be.
What were your childhood years like?
I never went to nursery. It probably wasn't done then. I was considered a loner. I was very quiet, very shy. My parents we went shopping every Saturday on the bus, and I was travel sick all the time, and they loved going on coach trips in the summer, and that was just absolutely awful. But my mother taught me to read before I went to school, and I was an only child, so I was a bit spoiled, but I didn't really make many friends at school, just maybe 1, 2. I don't know if it was just that I couldn't communicate with people very well, or I just wanted my world to be small and manageable. It was okay. I think I had a good childhood. My mother was an incredible woman, the most hard-working human being I've ever met in my life.
So how are you managing life right now?
After my mother died, the council said that I had to leave the house within 4 weeks. And I was born in Hythe Hospital, and I'd lived in the house since I was a few days old. And I had to fight for that. It was 58 months of fighting for that. I didn't go to the cinema for quite a long time. I didn't go to concerts. I didn't go out. I shrunk my life down. My mother, I know people are going to say, a 50-year-old man living with his mother, and to you for that, because some of us, it just works out that way. And when my mother was gone, I had to cope with real life stuff. I had a job in 2012 where I didn't get paid, and I pretty much had a mental breakdown then, and it just going through life was just walking through sludge. And I think my mother falling ill and dying and facing homelessness, that was the icing on the cake to that whole situation. When my mother died, my doctor sent me to the local mental health unit, and I was there every 2 weeks. I had a health visitor coming out to see me. I had this thing because I was fighting for the house, and spoiler alert, I got the house. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be talking to you here now, because I wouldn't have carried on. And when I next went to the mental health unit, they said I was showing signs of autistic spectrum behaviour, and therefore I was mentally disabled and not mentally ill, and discharged me. So they sent me back to my doctor, who put me down for an autism diagnosis. I had Solent Mind helping me at the time. It was about 7 months. I had to go to Basingstoke for a diagnosis, and then the diagnosis came through that I had autism spectrum, ASD, autism spectrum disorder, because I'm not disorderly. So I was sent back to the doctor. The diagnosis said I should have cognitive behaviour therapy, and they sent me to the mental health unit, and I walked in the door and literally walked straight back out again, because the mental health unit said, you've got autism spectrum, and therefore you're mentally disabled and not mentally ill, and therefore we don't deal with you, and sent me back to my doctor. And my doctor held her hands up and said, I honestly do not know what to do. And my life is just shrunk down to nice little manageable pieces these days. I mean, I'm 60 years old, and I'm winding down. I don't have many regrets. I have a few, but the only thing that I really regret is that as I get towards the end of my life, that the world that I'm leaving doesn't feel that much better to the world that I came in. I decided to do a documentary because I thought some people with autism don't have a voice. Some people can't communicate about it, and I can relatively well. And I think that if someone seeing the film may find themselves maybe having a better understanding that it's not a deficiency. I mean, there's people who say that autism is a superpower. I don't consider it a superpower. It's I suppose it's like having a pet dog. It's great a lot of the time. It can be a right pain sometimes. But understanding how you react to things, it helps. And if other people can understand a bit more, just sometimes it's just a matter of just showing a little bit of patience, really.